Hey everyone, my name's Christy. Welcome to my corner. Thank you all so much for joining me today for Flosstube number 19. And today I have a finished object. I actually have a fully finished object that I didn't take a picture of and I've already wrapped it and it's like in the box. So when it comes out of the box, I will take a picture and I'll show you that next week on Christmas actually. And I have some whips and I have a surprise haul that I've been waiting for and it came today. I have some plans. So let's talk about things. But before we get to that, I want to welcome all my new subscribers. Thanks so much for joining me on my artistic and crafty adventures. And welcome back to everyone who's been hanging out with me this whole time. It's been really great to get to know you in the comments down below on YouTube and also on Instagram. And if you are not following me on Instagram, my Instagram is Dr._Christy. I'll put that right here and I'll put it down below. And that's where I post progress pictures and of like my embroidery pieces. I post pictures of my baking that I don't film, just regular baking that I do. Post pictures of my dog and he's adorable. So check me out over on Instagram and follow me on Instagram if you want to see kind of what I'm up to. This is a channel about embroidery and other textile arts and crafts. It's about baking and history and the history of those things. So if any of that sounds interesting to you and you are not subscribed, I'd love to have you subscribe and hang out with me. This week has felt very, very long. I think I got a good bit of stitching done. I have things to show you, so that's good. But I spent a lot of time finishing up Christmas gifts. If I ever decide to make all my Christmas gifts again, could someone out there stop me? Because it is stressful. It is stressful. It is not fun. I mean, I love like the final product, and I think that the people who are getting them will love the final product. But it's a lot of work. I don't know that I want to do that again. It has sort of consumed my thoughts. Like even when I wasn't working on that, I felt like I should be working on that. And that means that my crafting time isn't very fun and my art time isn't very fun. And that's, you know, not fun. So anyway, next year I might make a couple gifts, but I'm not making Christmas gifts for everybody. It's just not happening. But this week has been really long. I popped online because of my Tuesday video. The video I posted on Tuesday was like I compared some different brands of needles, 4 different brands of needles. I'll put that up here if you want to, if you haven't seen that yet. If you're thinking about different embroidery needles and wondering maybe why you're having trouble threading your needles, it might not be you, it might be the needle. And so I do a comparison of needles. Anyway, so I looked to see how many people had watched it in the past week, and it was and it's in the 70s. My Tuesday videos don't get a ton of views, which is perfectly acceptable. But I was kind of surprised since it had been, you know, a while since I posted it. And then I saw that I'd posted it 2 days ago. I looked at it yesterday and I'm like, oh my God, the past 2 days have felt like a week. It's just been it's been a week. It's been a week. I just feel like time is flying and also standing still. Like 2020 is like a time warp. Anyway, let's talk stitching. You're not here to hear about my life. I mean, some of you may be here to hear about my life, but that's not why we're here. We're here for stitching. So I want to show you my finished object. I'm really excited. I had been working on a color variation of this piece that I had made last year, and the colors were inspired by X-Stitch MD's Sharon's Glamping Shawl. And I will put a link to her channel down below, although you probably watch her because she's fantastic and has a ton of subscribers. way more than I will ever have. But I finished it. It's not fully finished, but I finished it. It's looking a little brighter yellow than it is in real life. That yellow is definitely a mustard yellow. But if you look at them together, you can see how they're like the same pattern, but the colorway is different and it's a completely different feel. But I love this winter scene. So I'm going to finish this I'm going to paint a 6-inch hoop and white. I'm going to paint it white and finish this in that. And then it's like ready to, I don't know, go in my finished object box. I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I'm starting an Etsy shop. I'm starting an Etsy shop in a couple weeks, and so maybe I'll put them up there, and if people want to buy them, people will buy them. Otherwise, they will live in my finished object box. But I really love it. I'm also thinking about turning it into a pattern if anyone would be wanting to stitch it. It's a simple pattern, but it's a really pleasant stitch, and that's kind of what I needed. I needed easy stitches that I didn't have to think about a lot, but that was joyful. Like, this feels joyful to me. Yeah, I've been not feeling joyful. We put up our Christmas tree. Well, Rich put up our Christmas tree about a week ago. And when he put it up and was playing Christmas music, I came out and I cried because I miss my family. So then last night, I decided that I would decorate the tree. So we had our Christmas decorations out. I'll put a picture up right here. It looks really pretty, actually. Well, I mean, I like it anyway. We put on Christmas music, and it just wasn't fun because we don't normally decorate for Christmas because I'm visiting my family. So the reason why we're decorating for Christmas is because I'm not visiting my family. So it wasn't quite as joyful as I'd hoped it would be. Yeah. Oh, well. Anyway, but it looks very pretty, and I'm hoping that now that it's up, it will bring me joy. That's what I'm hoping. And I'm also hoping that since I have most of my Christmas gifts sent out, one of my Christmas gifts, I'm actually not even going to send out until after Christmas at this point. But I have most of my Christmas gifts sent out, and so I can just kind of focus on stitching and pattern making and that kind of a thing. Anyway, it's done, and I love it. And I think it's beautiful. I love the colorway. I love how the colors go together. Sharon and her glamping blanket are geniuses when it comes to color. But you'll see when I show you my haul, you can see right there, I got a fabric haul, and apparently these are the colors I've been kind of into for a while. So that's my finished object. I also have a gift, a small gift for my fiance that I finished, but I'll show you that next week because I am doing a Flosstube on Christmas because I'm just going to be here, and I figure you all are going to be stitching probably. I mean, I don't know. Do you take a chill day? I feel like it's kind of a chill Christmas day. And so those of you who have off and celebrate will probably have some stitchy time. And then you'll have a Flosstube to watch. So there you go. That's my only finished object I can show you. But I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I have two whips. I have a stitchy whip and a not stitchy whip. I have worked on my Hildegard of Bingen Cosmic Egg. It's in the hoop. I always keep them in the hoop. I don't even apologize for it because I keep them in the hoop to show you. I didn't get much done. I'm starting on the black around the firmament. So I'll put a picture of the completed, of like the picture right here so you can see what that looks like. But basically I'm filling in all of the black area where those kind of boulder, they're boulders, they're supposed to be boulders, and kind of evil flames are. And the boulders are going to be seed beads of some kind. I had showed the beads last week. I have two different kinds of beads. I have gold seed beads and I have kind of iridescent seed beads. And I'm not sure which one I'm going to choose, but I'm going to pick one of those. I'm not buying more beads because I'm not going shopping again before Christmas. That's for sure. I don't want to see a lot of people. Our COVID numbers are spiking here in Mississippi, and people aren't wearing masks the way they should be. Anyway, so I'm going to use the beads that I have, and they're either going to be gold or iridescent, but I think that that's lovely. And I'm really excited about like the mixed media aspect of this. This blue is actually watercolor. And then I have gold leaf that's going to go in a different spot that you can't see right now. So I'm pleased with where it's coming. I worked on it this morning. I think we're in kind of the easier stage of this with much less detail. And I think it'll be it's a lot of coverage, but I think it'll be a fairly quick stitch. So I have been working on that. I also worked on my Scandinavian deer. So this is what it's going to look like. This is a needle felting kit that I got from woolery.com. I'll put a link to it down below. And it's coming along nicely, I think. I have most of it covered now. The deer is completely done. I'm working on this side on this like plant thing and working on filling it in. And I've decided that I'm going to turn it into a pillow. It's going to be like a Christmassy decorative pillow. So this is this space. So the reason why it's called Chrissy's Corner is because I'm literally in a corner of my office / guest room / craft room. So there's a bed right here, which is our guest bed. My office, when I work at home, which during COVID is all the time, is literally right here. Like I'm touching my desk, right? And then this is my craft space. So Christy's Corner is in a corner. I almost did a nobody puts baby in a corner reference, except that they did. Anyway, back to needle felting. So there's a pillow on this guest bed over here. right here that is just a decorative pillow that I got in like a FabFitFun box. I want to make this into like a Christmas pillow. I think it'll go perfect with it. And yeah, I keep looking at the pillow. It's a slightly larger, it's a large pillow, so there'll be kind of like a binding around the outside or like a border around the outside, and I'll probably put a interfacing right here just to kind of protect it. But I'm pleased with it. I think it's coming out really well. It's my first kind of large needle felting piece, and I'm happy with it. So I've been working on that. I realized that I never mentioned what this was stitched on and with. The fabric is just a mustard linen yardage fabric that I got as a remnant at Joann's. The nice thing about surface freehand embroidery is that you can embroider on anything that you can like get a needle through. So that's kind of nice. The threads, the white is just, well, the white of the snow down here is just DMC Blanc. I have a ton of it. I have a ton of it right there, right? I have a ton of that, so I just used that. The snow up here is done in a mixture of just DMC Blanc and DMC Etoile Blanc. So it has a little sparkle, although you can't see now. But I used 2 strands of regular white and 2 strands of Etoile white. And I did that because the Etoile just wasn't bright enough, I didn't feel. But I also wanted sparkle, so I mixed them. I mean, that's what you can do, right? You can just mix those things. The pink is Color and Cotton Rhubarb, which is gorgeous and has a gorgeous, very subtle variation. And so it gives it a little bit of interest, but it doesn't overpower it. And that's Color and Cotton Rhubarb. I don't remember if I just said that or not. The gray, the dark gray, is Color and Cotton Old Moss, which again has a slight variation, slight variegation, but it's not so much. It just adds a little bit of depth and texture. And the light blue is DeVere Yarns Powder Blue, and it comes on a spool. This was in my advent calendar last year. So that's what I stitched this piece in, if anyone's interested in knowing that. And like I said, I'm just going to paint a 6-inch hoop white and mount it in that. Okay, let's talk about my haul. Well, first let's talk about my advent. I have my advent calendar here, and from DeVere Yarns. I don't know how to make it so you can see it. I'm getting some really great cottons and wools. So this is the cotton and wool combo advent calendar from DeVere Yarns. I don't remember where I started, but it's been all different colors. I mean, you can see the colors here. So there's some greens, variegated, and yellows, and oranges, and golds, and pinks, and blues. So, and a lovely purple. So I'm pretty happy with my DeVere Yarns advent calendar. And I'm planning on making a spool thread storage unit to go over there on the wall to kind of like clear up this back here a little bit. Let's talk about my haul, my unexpected haul that I got from Fat Quarter Shop. Now I got this, well, I ordered all of this during Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. That weekend, Fat Quarter Shop was having a big sale. I figured I might as well. I want to make project bags. I like project bags that are cork on the outside and then have, you can't see, but then have a nice fun fabric on the inside. So that way it kind of keeps everything safe, because cork is a really heavy duty fabric, but is also pretty, and it has vinyl. So I got a bunch of fabric to do that. But first, this was on clearance. I just got a Lori Holt 10 count even weave in kind of a natural color to go with my black work plans. You know, when I feel like doing black work again, I have enough fabric to do that. I know that 10 count's really big, but I liked the natural, I'm sorry about the glare, but I like the natural color. It looks really rustic. It's almost, it almost looks like a burlap. I haven't opened it. I literally got it in the mail today, right before I filmed. But I haven't opened it. I don't know if it's as rough as burlap, but it looks very much like a high-end burlap. which is fine, which is what I was hoping for. I also got, so this has been in my cart for a while. I just think it's so beautiful, this like pink and yellow motif. And that's what I meant when I said I'm clearly in the mood for pink and yellow at the moment. And I'm wearing a ton of this burgundy color, the kind of darker color. I'm wearing that a ton. So I got that. I think it's a half yard of that. I got this adorable black fabric that says, oops, let's not have it upside down. Oh, it's upside down and not upside down. My soul is fed with my needle and thread. I thought that that was just really cute for a project bag. They had these quilt pattern panels. So I find quilt panels very interesting because I'm supposed to like build a quilt around this, but I thought I would just use it as fabric, and it is the vintage posters from all the national parks. But how awesome would this be as a fabric in project bags? I just think that this is amazing. So I bought 4 panels. So I'm going to make a bunch of national park project bags just because I can. And I mean, how wonderful are these? Look at that. I mean, look at that Glacier National Park. I mean, that's just gorgeous. I just love it. I just love it. And the first one I saw when I pulled it out of the bag was Tortuga, which is off the coast of Key West. And I'm not seeing, oh, there it is. The dried Tortugas. And I've literally done yoga on that. It's, you know, it's a dry, there's no place to stay. You have to camp. And I took the boat and took my tent by myself and I camped out on the dry Tortugas and I made friends. Like I just got a Christmas card from a couple, an older couple, older as in like late 50s, early 60s, not like elderly, but an older couple who kind of adopted me because I was by myself. And so we hung out that whole time and we've just kept in touch. Anyway, it just brought a lot of memories for me. You know, the Grand Canyon, the Mount Zion National Park, right? All those places that I've been to. I don't know. I saw that and it just made me really happy. And it also made me realize that there are a lot of parks that I want to go to once we can travel again. I think a lot of people are going to be flying places, but I think I'm probably going to be picking up my fiance and my dog, throwing them in a car and driving out west and just like visiting parks and just seeing people. And yeah, so this will help me think about future travels. We'll just say that. And then I got 2 really gorgeous unicorn patterns. And I don't know why I was drawn to these so much, but they're the same one, just in slightly different colorways. So this is like a unicorn during the day. And then this is the unicorn scene at night. And I just think that they're gorgeous. And again, I think that they'll make gorgeous project bags because the cork that I have has silver running through it. And can you imagine this on the inside of a silver cork? Well, actually, I will show you because I have a small piece. There we go. So this on top of that. How beautiful is that combo? I just love it. So I got those 2. So the final piece of fabric that I got from Fat Quarter Shop is this amazing book fabric. I love this book fabric so much. And I actually didn't buy this book fabric for project bags like I bought my other ones for. I bought this because I had bought book fabric from Joann Fabrics, I don't know, a year or 2 ago. And I was planning on making like a shirt dress out of it. It may end up being a tunic because I don't think I got enough of it, but I wanted it to be a shirt dress. And I saw this and I'm like, oh, well, it looks very similar. Maybe it's the same fabric, but you don't really know until you get them together. So I thought I'd pick some up. It's not the same fabric, I don't think. I'll check again, but I don't think it's the same fabric. So I'm going to use it for project bags. And because, you know, if you're making an outfit, if you're making a dress and things almost match, but don't clearly don't match, then it looks like a mistake. But if I get like a burgundy fabric or like a navy fabric to go with it, then it's clearly not intended to look the same. And so it doesn't look like a mistake. So that may be what I do. Or maybe a tunic. Who knows? And who knows when it's going to happen, because it's been 1.5 to 2 years and I haven't done it yet. Anyway, so I have this fabric now, and it's not going to be a dress. So it can be a project bag. And it can be a project bag for my temperature library that I sketched up this week and I love. Check this baby out. Hold on, let me put this down. This took so long to do. My temperature library. So for those of you who don't know what a temperature chart is, basically you have a stitch or a knit where you kind of assign colors to ranges of temperature. And for the high temperature for that day, you take the corresponding color and you put it in the small thing that you stitch or knit or crochet or whatever. And there are a few different patterns rolling around out there. Stitchin' Mommy, Sarah, has a temperature tree that a lot of people are working on. And I think this year her new one is temperature typography, where you actually stitch out pieces of the words for the months. I know Pam for Stitching the Land of Good Enough has been doing a granny square stitched piece. So each little square is a day. And so I was getting a little FOMO, fear of missing out, FOMO, and I wanted to stitch one too, but there's not really a pattern for that, or I didn't look, honestly, because I just was like, well, I'll just come up with something. But what can I do that's not copying someone else? Because obviously I don't want to take other people's ideas and copy them, because that's not how I work. So I thought a bookshelf would be perfect. And I am thrilled with this. And I want to say that Tanya, who is one of my subscribers here, mentioned that I should, well, she basically told me that I needed a cross stitch because she wants to stitch this. And this was before she saw it, so she didn't even know how awesome it is, but it's awesome. And I'm like, well, I mean, I'm game to try, right? I mean, what's the worst that'll happen is that it won't work. It's not like it's going to hurt anything. So I downloaded a cross stitch design program, and I haven't used it yet. And I'm going to try and chart this as a cross stitch. So I guess my question is anyone else interested in stitching this? Any cross stitchers interested in stitching this? Because if so, I will chart it and offer it on my forthcoming Etsy shop if people are interested. It is books and other things that you would find on a bookshelf, essentially. And if people like it, then I may just do a new bookshelf every year, and people can end up with like a whole library of different, of the temperatures for the year. Let me know down below if you're interested in stitching this. And I am planning on working this week to try and chart it with this program. Yeah, so let me know in the comments below if that's something that you might be interested in, because I think I'm going to do that. And Tanya volunteered to look it over and make sure that the cross stitch chart makes sense to a cross stitcher, because again, I don't cross stitch, so I don't really even know what charts look like, because I don't use them, and I've never done a cross stitch chart before. So Tanya's going to look it over, make sure it makes sense to a cross stitcher and that she can actually stitch it. And it will be my first ever cross stitch chart. So there may be some bugs, which I'm happy to fix when and if they are found. And I also am working on like a colored in version. And so far I have the bookshelf and all the little like objects colored in, but I don't have the books colored in yet. And it looks really cool. It looks really cool colored in. So I'm actually really looking forward to this piece this year. And like I said, if you want to stitch it with me, let me know and I will chart it. And I'll also offer it as a surface embroidery chart. That's going on with my temperature bookshelves for 2021. My other plans are I want to finish my Scandinavian deer and actually fully finish it in like a pillow. And I think I might just use this linen here. I think that'll look really pretty and rustic, and it'll look gorgeous. So, and I have tons of it. So I think I'm going to do that. Oh, I still have yet to make, I have a final bread bag that I have yet to make. still staying bread here. So that's happening. Oh, I have another whip I forgot about. I am making manicules. So these, I want to say it quietly, these are going to be bookmarks. Well, whichever one I like the best is going to be a bookmark for my fiance for his advent calendar. It's going to be a magnetic, one of those magnetic bookmarks that clip on the page. And this is a manicule. So manicules, if you ever see those hands, like old-timey hands on things, that's called a manicule. These are medieval manicules, but they were used in medieval manuscripts to point to important parts of the manuscript. Some of them are really elaborate. So here are other pictures of them. This is the one that I'm doing, so I cut that one out. But that one right here in the middle is pretty elaborate. This one here is a bishop's hand, right? This one here is like an animal. And then I have other ones that I've done already. So this was one of my first stitches, which I call the pupicule. And then here's another one that the color was not a part of it. This one, the color was a part of it, but this one was not. And I did a little gold French knots in it. This one was this was early in my stitching days, but that's another manicule. Then we have this guy here. And this was probably one of the first things I ever stitched, was this little simple manicule. So anyway, I'm making those manicules for a bookmark. I think that'll be really fun. I also got a giant Bayou tapestry book I had been waiting for that's shiny. Sorry about that. There we go. That has detailed pictures of the entire tapestry. So I'm also going to work on Bayou tapestry stuff this week because all my Christmas gifts are out. So I don't have to worry about Christmas gifts. I have like a meeting on Monday, but then I don't have to worry about meetings and stuff. We're not cooking for Christmas. We're just getting Chinese. I do have some baking to do this weekend to give to my friends. I'm giving them a loaf of bread and a half dozen macarons and a little tiny gift that I already have in a little basket. I'm going to do a little Santa Christie delivery, but that's really all I'm going to do. That's all I have to do. The rest of it is just fun stuff. And I can start working on things that I've been wanting to work on, like Bayou tapestries, like patterns, like now cross stitch patterns, like blackwork patterns. And so that's kind of what I'm working on. The other thing I want to do is I want to do, for Tuesday's video, I want to do a baking video again. And I was thinking, well, I got out my National Cookbook and I was looking for something Christmassy, and there's like nothing in here called Christmas. They did have plum pudding. I'm like, oh, plum pudding. That feels, that's in a Christmas carol of some kind, isn't it? I think it is. Figgy pudding, but I didn't see figgy pudding. Plum pudding feels Christmassy to me. But then I looked at it and there's no plums in it. It's like raisins and currants. So I think I'm not going to do that. I think instead I'm going to dig back into my grandmother's old Scandinavian recipes cookbook and do Berliner Kranzer. Which, I mean, look at this page. It's glorious. But we're going to do Berliner Kranzer, which is the Kranzer ones in particular right here. And I'm going to bake them on Monday and film it. And we can bake Berliner Kranzer together because I love Berliner Kranzer. It's my favorite Christmas cookie. And I used to make them with my grandmother. And so I'm going to do that. And that, my friends, is my plan. And clean. I'm going to clean things and organize things and, you know, put my life back together after a really stressful semester. I don't know. Those are the plans. Let me know if you're interested in cross-stitching that temperature bookshelf, and I will really get on that. I'm kind of excited about that. I think that'll be fun. Oh, my birthday. My birthday is December 28th. My birthday is December 28th. I'll be 41, which is in my 40s. I feel like, so I'm 40 now. I'm 40 at the moment, which is 40, but it's not like in my 40s. But 41 is in my 40s with multiple 40s behind me. So I feel like, you know, anyway, I wanted to celebrate and we can't because COVID. And so I'm going to do a stitch along. And so what this means is that on Monday, December 28th, at some point, I would love if you would stitch something with a history theme, and that is broadly defined historical history. I'll probably be working on medieval stuff because almost all my stuff I want to work on is medieval at this point. You do not have to be medieval. It could be reproduction, sampler, or I don't know, anything broadly defined history. And there's going to be a hashtag on Instagram, History Birthday SAL. I'll put that right here, stitch along. Basically just take a picture of it and like hit that hashtag, like put the hashtag in it, and I will follow the hashtag, and then I'll feel like people are celebrating my birthday with me. And that will make me really, really happy. There are a few people who've already said they're joining in, and I'm kind of really excited. My mom is going to work on her cross stitch map, she said. And I think Stitcher Trish is going to work on some history stuff. She has a bunch of history stuff. And I think Tony from Someone's Crazy Aunt, who's hilarious, by the way. I'll put links to all their channels below. But she said she had something about Scottish crowns. So that's exciting. And a couple other people have said that they're going to join in as well. So I'm really, really excited. Again, on Instagram, I'm Dr._Christy, and just tag me and use the hashtag HistoryBirthdaySAL, and I will find it. And I will be so excited that everyone is celebrating. And I'm probably going to do a little short video on my birthday too, just to say hey. I think that's all from me. I'm looking forward to a nice, relaxing, crafty week between now and my birthday. Now and New Year's, the next 2 weeks. I'm planning on having a nice, relaxing, stitchy, cleaning, organizing, breathing 2 weeks. So that way I can start the new semester as a feeling really good about the work that I've done. And really excited to see my students and teach about ancient Rome and medieval Christianity and world civilizations. So that's my hope. Yeah. And I think that's it from me, y'all. So thank you so much for watching and joining me. Follow me on Instagram to see my progress and hang out with me for my stitch along. And with all that being said, please take good care of yourselves and have a good one. Bye.